Welcome back to Geeky Girls Night In. I'm your host, Leslie. Thank you for tuning in. First things first, I would like to give a special thank you to Slackferno for sending Quinzel and I a Valentine. I informed Quinzel that I would be keeping this one, but I took a picture of it for her because it had Pizza Skull from Hello from the Magic Tavern on it, and I love Pizza Skull almost as much as I love Usador. If you'd like to send either of us a Valentine, you can send it to P.O. Box 90232, Indianapolis, Indiana 46290. And in case you didn't catch that, it'll be in the show notes. Other than that beacon of light, this week has not been a great week for me. The weather is more confused than a peacock in a hen house. At one point, it went from -6 to 65 degrees, and I've had enough. Someone needs to go ahead and go talk to Mother Nature and tell her to let it go. Whatever grudge she is holding on to, this is not the business. Also, my 9 to 5 is going through some severe growing pains and I'm not with it at all. But that's all I'm going to say about that. To cheer myself up, I started working on activating my sourdough starter. If you go on YouTube, there's a second day video of me tending to it ever so gently. The first day videos, I did like an Insta story type situation. The person that I got the starter from suggested that you name your starter. So mine, her full name is Ernestine, daughter of Dylan, granddaughter of Priscilla, baker of bread, starter of bubbles. Ernestine for short. I even made labels for her jar. Mainly because I'm extra. And I make no apologies about it. That's who I am. I started the starter on Saturday. By next Saturday, so you'll be hearing this Wednesday, so the following Saturday, I'll be baking bread. I could bake sooner, but the fact of the matter is I don't have time to tend to bread midweek with a full-time job and a geeky baby. I have a very basic starter dough recipe I'll be using, and we'll be kind of expanding out from that. You know, a long time ago, I tried to make my own starter from wild yeast in the air. Like you're supposed to mix flour and water, no sugar or anything, and just kind of feed it daily. And that didn't work out for me. This has gone really well. It's doubled in size and it's doing everything that it's supposed to. And I can't wait to try to bake fresh baked bread. So just waiting on the weekend, actually. In this vein, I've decided to become a plant-raising, incense-lighting bread baking woman. I want one of those incense holders that has the smoke that looks like it's gently flowing like a foggy river. Have you guys ever seen those? Oh, and also I own a record player. I also want to wear long, drapey, flowy wraps, primarily in white, some multicolored, but that's okay, mostly white. I crochet, so I could probably make that happen on my own. I just would need to do it. Also, if you're listening and you are a plant fiend, where do you get your plants from? I own a bamboo stick that I got from a home show and an air plant whom we call Grass Friend. I need more plants, ones that are forgiving and easy to care for. Let me know on Twitter or Instagram. In more randomness, the path to D&D has been fraught with weirdness. The beginner set that I bought a while back, it's a true beginner set. It has pre-made characters in it, but does not give you any information on how to create your own. So I went to Twitter to sort this out. Shout out to Terminally Nerdy on Twitter. You check out his website. He's pretty cool. And he always has my back on geek questions. And I hope to get to meet him this year at Gen Con. Anyway, he recommended the D&D Player's Handbook. I checked the library and I have that on hold along with the monster manual as well as the DM guide. Hopefully reading these will get me all learned up. In other gaming news, I found another game I'll be picking up soon. It's called Companion's Tale. The best part about it is that there is no DM. This is also a game designer of color. Let me just go ahead and read the description to you. Companion's Tale is a map-making storytelling game where you tell the tale of an epic hero, righting wrongs and saving kingdoms. The hero acts and leaves others to tell the tale. You're the others. the hero's companions. Whose version of the heroic tale will become canon, and whose will be a footnote to history. The mentor will tell you that the hero learned sorcery when they visited the high hills together in lands where maps are scarcely drawn. The lover will tell you that the hero actually grew up in the high hills and knew by heart the solemn and slow songs of its people. But listen to me. I was the hero's rival, and I knew them best. We stood together in the southern shores, blades in hand, as we encountered something truly unexpected. Companion's Tale is a game for 4 players and takes approximately 2.5 hours to play. It uses evocative world-building rules, a deck of inspirational themes and art, and a series of rotating roles for shared storytelling. Together, you'll build the history and culture of the realm, fill in a rich and changing map, and reveal your companion's tale. So I think that sounds awesome. I did a little research, and it looks like it was on Kickstarter back in 2017. Someone recently brought it to my attention. The creator's name is Laura Simpson, and I'm looking forward to buying and playing this. If you own this game, reach out to me on Twitter and let me know what you think of it. I'll put a link of the game in the show notes. I honestly haven't been doing much this week game-wise, just getting focused and prepared for the D&D game coming up. I haven't even gamed on the computer. I did see an article how there was a live concert on Fortnite, which sounds adorable, and the pictures that I saw from it were cute too. A bunch of people bouncing around in marshmallow costumes. Marshmallow isn't really my jam, but I hope you guys had fun. I did hop on Twitch to see how to start streaming on there, but I haven't downloaded the software yet. Do you have a preference on what software you use for streaming? Let me know. I've also been trying to catch up with podcasts. It used to be super easy for me to listen to podcasts, but as Geeky Baby gets older, I can't listen to podcasts in the car because she tends to repeat some of the words. She also hates talking and wants to listen to music. Thanks to daycare, I get a request to listen to Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay several times a week. That and the Backstreet Boys. That is so not my fault. This being said, I did manage to get fully caught up on Hello from the Magic Tavern. I'm super excited for Chunt's nuptials. I love this podcast so much that I've made Quinzel listen to it. Over 3.5 years ago, Arnie Niekamp fell down a dimensional portal behind a Burger King in Chicago into a magical, fantastical land of food. The podcast is all about his adventures there. I honestly forget how I found this podcast. I remember hearing about it, and then I remember going to Twitter and looking it up, and then it was just downhill from there. I've been listening since about the 4th episode came out, and they're on 200 some now. It also never fails to put a smile on my face, and I have been absolutely down in the dumps lately, so it's been heavily needed. Also, if you scroll through my Instagram feed, you'll find a picture of me from the live show that was done here in Indianapolis during Gen Con last year with the guys from Food. In TV news, which is kind of surprising I have TV news because I rarely sit still long enough to watch TV, I watched most of Russian Doll this weekend. I don't really have much to say about it. If you like Groundhog's Day, you'll like this. But I'll say one thing. The main character in the beginning, when I was 18 years old, I figured that's what adulthood was going to be like when I grew up. People throwing you fantastic birthday parties while you smoke joints laced with cocaine and getting felt up at parties. I've never been happier to be so wrong. This would be an incredibly rough life for someone like me that is really goofy and introverted. In book recommendations this week, I have 2. It's Black History Month, and as such, we must talk about Black literature. About 10 years ago, I worked for the government. They frequently had book fairs near the cafeteria, and I happened to pick up a Zora Neale Hurston book called Their Eyes Were Watching God. The story is about Janie and her life from childhood to adult, with all the steps she took. For a lot of the book, her life seemed dictated by others. She only truly lived when she started to live by her own rules, when she was basically allowed to live by her own rules. It's a book of love and loss. One of the things that stuck with me was Janie talking about the horizon. how it is this great big huge wide thing, and there's so much to see and explore. And her grandmother made the horizon so small and so tiny and tied it around her neck, just narrowing her options and choices to oblivion. Just absolutely nothing. There was so much more out there for her. But like I said, her grandmother reduced it to something so small. And I kind of believe that we've all felt this at one point. You have the whole wide world out there, but it's reduced to something small by you or someone else. Read this book. Do not watch the movie. It's not even worth it, bruh. So, my other book recommendation is called The You Know Who Girls by Annemieke Hesek. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember much from my freshman year of high school. I know I was fat, black, and awkward. I had a ton of stuff going on in my head internally that I'm only just now as an adult starting to work out. I know it was difficult. I know I was different, but I couldn't imagine being fat, black, awkward, and questioning my sexual identity. I remember kids disparaging things and calling them gay. I think that may even still be a thing. Navigating a new school, a sexual identity, and becoming the person that you want to be is hard. This book is Abby's story of doing all of this while harboring a large secret from her friends and family. This is sort of a series. There's a freshman year book, there's a sophomore year book. However, when I went to the writer's website, thirsty for more, because they're really cute books. There's a blog entry about how she's burnt out on this series and she isn't writing any more on it, which kind of makes me sad. Abby's destined for high school greatness, and I'm bummed the writer won't be exploring it. And as always, I'll have a link to both of these books in the show notes. This isn't a book recommendation, but apparently there's a trailer for the movie Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I did not watch the Super Bowl, so I did not see it, but I will tell you this much. Those books scared the hell out of me as a kid, except for the one where the hand was moaning bloody fingers and scaring all the people at the hotel. And I think the final guy was like a stoner, and he just got mad and was like, "Get a Band-Aid." That was the best one. I remember laughing so hard and getting into trouble for how hard I laughed. Haters. I'm kind of looking forward to this movie, but I'm also a little scared. I'll go ahead and add a link to the trailers, because there's multiple, I think. There's like 4 to the show notes, and I'll also watch it myself because I just heard about them. I did not watch the Super Bowl. So, ultra short episode for you today. Like I said, I'm not feeling 100%. I hope to be back at it next week with more exciting topics and things like that. Maybe explore my world more, broaden my horizon so it's not a thing stuck around my neck choking me. But yeah, that's it. You can find me and Quinzel on Twitter under Geeky Girls NI and Geeky Girl Guide. You can find us on Instagram at Geeky Girl Guide. We also have Facebook page, and yeah. Oh, also, before I forget, on the Geeky Girl Guide Facebook page, Quinzel is doing 28 days of Black cosplay. So hop on over there to see some great cosplay costumes from different people. All right? Until next time, bye. Geeky Girls Night In is brought to you by me, Leslie. You can find me on Twitter at Geeky Girls NI, on Facebook at Geeky Girls Night In, or in your backyard, strumming dulcet tones on a mandolin, serenading you sweetly. Feel free to shoot me a message if you have something geeky going on that you want announced on the show. You can find written musings by me, Quinzel, or Melissa at geekygirlguide.com. Like the show? Would you like to buy me a cup of coffee? Consider donating to my coffee. That's ko-fi.com/geekygirlsni. Want to send me or the other girls some snail mail? You can reach us at P.O. Box 90232, Indianapolis, Indiana 46290. Feel free to leave a review on iTunes or on the Facebook page. I'll read new reviews, good or bad, on the show. Music is by Makai Beats. Until next time.